it's undeniable, Brett, that the labor shortage that we have out there is continuing to expand, particularly in the skilled trades area. The shortage is going to not only continue, but estimations are that it's going to grow over the next 5 years. So the challenges you're facing today are not going to go away. They're going to get, even more challenging. Well, welcome to the Skillwork Forum. My name's Tim, and I'm joined here as always with my partner, Brett. Thank you for joining us and subscribing to our podcast. We really appreciate that. But we're going to take some time to focus on things relating to your industry issues, whether it be emerging trends or challenges, really that evolve around the skilled trades. And today, on this episode, we really want to talk to you, the business owner, the HR representative, the maintenance manager, somebody out there who's trying to solve your problem on the staffing needs that you have to fill the gaps that you have in your company, and why, specifically asking the question, why would you even consider utilizing a travel-based staffing model? So I think it's undeniable, Brett, that the labor shortage that we have out there is continuing to expand, particularly in the skilled trades area, and the shortage is going to not only continue, but estimations are that it's going to grow over the next 5 years. So the fact that you're going to, the challenges you're facing today are not going to go away. They're going to get, even more challenging.
Yeah, no doubt. Right now, we're in a crazy, that's probably the most overused statement right now in just a crazy season the last year, obviously with the pandemic and everything. So, labor shortages, you can't go to a restaurant right now and not recognize, the labor shortage and everywhere. We've got, you got restaurants, that are all drive-through, not because of the pandemic, but because they can't get enough staff and those kind of things. So the overall labor shortage is off the charts right now, and trying to get people back to work. And part of that, what we just discussed there, which is not something that we can help you solve, is a lot of that is related to the pandemic. But the skilled trade shortage was really only, I would say, exacerbated by the pandemic. The shortage started, the beginning of this process that Tim just mentioned started, you could argue as much as 10 years ago, but definitely in the last 5 years. I think we estimate, there's about 1 million short in the skilled trades right now. And it really has nothing to do with the pandemic. It's just the fact that there's not enough skilled trades folks to fill the positions. And that problem is only growing and been moved forward a little bit because a lot of the older skilled craftsmen that they thought would wait to retire opted to leave the workforce during this season because of some of the risks. So,
yeah, every facility we talk to is struggling to find skilled talent, regardless of what part of the country you're in. And not only that, but the trades are evolving. We talked about that one of our previous podcasts, that the traditional skilled craftsmen that you may have at whether you be in construction, manufacturing, or whatever industry, that the trades are evolving, becoming more technical. So the need is not only, there's a shortage, but there's a shortage for the key skills that you're looking for. So today we wanted to say, why would you've got this problem, that goes without saying, why would you select or consider a company like ours that provides a travel staffing model? Why would you look at a company like ours? Why does that make sense to have us become part of your solution? And maybe, Brett, before we get into some of these reasons why, maybe it's worth 2 minutes to say, well, what do you mean by travel staffing company? What is that in general, if they don't know?
Yep, no, for sure. So, we built our business off of the travel staffing model, which was very well established in the travel nursing industry. So, in essence, we provide you an opportunity to, instead of just looking locally, we look across the country, and then we travel individuals on longer term contracts, 3, 6, 9 months, to fill your needs. And so basically the fact is you can hire all the talent, local search people you want. If there's nobody there locally to hire, you're just, as we see and we talk about it, companies say, we're going to spend more money trying to solve this problem, but we really, through their own talent search, headhunters, all those kind of things, but really expect no results, which is always kind of a bizarre thought, So I don't know if that quite answers.
Yeah, I think the thing is, the idea is, well, what do you mean travel staffing? And yeah, I think you hit it, but our company, so we work with you. What are your needs specifically? What are you looking for? What are the skills? Everything, down to very minute detail. Then our job is to go look everywhere across the country through multiple avenues. We bring them in. We do all the front end work, all the vetting, all the testing, the interviewing up front, and then if they're a good fit, we connect them with you. You have the last say as to whether they're a good fit for you, and then those guys become our employees, and many remain our employees, and then we essentially allow you to, I don't know, for lack of a better term, lease them for a certain period of time. They remain our employees. We manage everything for them, but they augment your staff. So I just thought it'd be important to talk a bit about that. So what do we hear from companies that maybe help overcome some hesitation, or why would they want to choose this type of model?
Well, one of the things, that we hear quite a bit, and Tim kind of pointed out, and you all know that are listening to this podcast, that it is very, very rare. I would say less than 5% of the companies, whether it be in the manufacturing or the construction space that we speak to, that don't have an issue. Once in a while we'll talk to a company. Now I don't know, maybe they're delusional, or maybe they're just very fortunate. But they say, no, we're good. But the vast majority, as you know, say, no, we're really struggling to find talent. We're really struggling to find the talent that we need, and so forth and so on. But one of the things, as Tim just said, in our model, you can kind of look at it as in essence, you kind of lease, or it's our skill worker. We have all the responsibility for them, but they're there on contract. The comment that we hear a lot is, we have a huge need, but you're basically, we have a permanent, we're looking for a permanent solution, and you're offering us a temporary solution. They struggle a little bit to go, I'm going to invest my time, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. Our response, and I think the reality is you really, what you have is a permanent problem. And while we may not solve your problem in the traditional sense that we bring you Joe and Joe becomes your permanent employee and problem goes away, but we do provide a permanent solution in that we will fill your vacancy. It might be Joe, and Joe might become your permanent employee, or Joe might be there for a year, but in 6 months, Joe might become Tom. And so we have provided a permanent solution, and the reality is we talk to many facilities, and they've had these openings, this permanent problem, they've had these openings for, 2 years. They've been trying to fill them. And so the idea that you don't need to look into a different and go, well, wait a minute, I guess I never thought of it that way. It is a permanent solution. You just can't assume that every permanent solution is going to be a individual. It's got to be, a little broader than that. So
yeah, that's good. And the idea that I'm like many people out there, problem solver. I've got a problem. Here's a solution. Move on to the next problem. But this is one of those things where we're going to be living with this for a while.
Yeah.
So recognize that this is not something you can just check off. You're going to have to continually, work hard to establish plans, mitigation strategies, and partner with companies. Maybe ours is a good fit for you that helps you through this season. And again, we expect it to get, Brett, you mentioned 1 million, and over the next 5 years, probably sooner than that, it's going to double.
Yep.
2 million and shortage. So getting creative and looking for this solution is a great way to try to kind of span the gap.
Yeah.
So another one for you as you're out there listing, like why would I even be interested in a travel model? Here's one Brett hit on. I think is really important. We provide a highly vetted candidate, and by vetted I mean they go through multiple stages. We have a webinar you can get to if you follow us here on the podcast. We go through that in depth, the stages that we take a candidate through. We make sure that we find exactly what you're looking for, and if we don't, we keep working until we do, and we guarantee that. But we can find a candidate. You don't have to lower your bar. You set your bar where you need it. Our job is to meet that and exceed that bar. And we can do that. We can find, we've proven time and again that we can find the candidate that meets your skills or has better than what you can find locally. So we really believe that accepting lesser talent to solve, and you're talking about a short-term solution, that's a very short-term solution. Mm-hmm. You select lesser talent, that's going to cause you more issues down the road in terms of morale of your workforce, quality issues, just more overtime, more time away from your best people to try to train and cover for lesser talent. So that's not a great approach. We say you keep your bar high, you look for somebody who can meet that. So I think that's one thing we would tell you why a travel model like ours makes sense.
Yeah, no, just to kind of add a little bit to that, many of you, many employers, out of pure need, pure almost desperation, in the last 5 years, I did it. I was in the food manufacturing space for a long time, and so, we, in a need to try to find not just front end workers, but skilled technicians, maintenance guys, we turned to temp companies, to temp agencies. And I'm here to tell you, we're not a temp agency. And so a temp agency, that model was built for some very specific reasons. They do a great job of finding local, shorter term labor, but they don't do a great job in finding the skilled talent and vetting it. They tend to play a numbers game. We tend to play a quality game. And so that, if you're going, well, no, I've been down this road, it doesn't work. The people that we get are terrible and that type of thing. Not terrible people, but terrible skill match. And so that's why the vetting process that Tim mentioned is so critical, and why many of our clients would and have indicated and have said that working with Skillwork is a game changer for finding the talent that we need. So in addition, Tim mentioned about companies just, again, out of what else are they going to do? They just start accepting less and less talent, and with the belief, and it's a good-hearted belief that, well, we're just going to have to train them. We're just going to have to bring them in, and we're going to have to train them, and that type of thing. And unfortunately, again, this, what we're saying isn't just our opinion, it's what we hear all the time. That can become a very frustrating, if you're a skilled technician that's been there for 20 years and you're seeing what the company is doing to solve this problem. You see the problem because you're living it every day.
Right.
But you as the plant manager or the general manager or the maintenance manager, we have to recognize that that's a very frustrating, and if you're not careful, you'll actually run off. Your good talent will leave because they become frustrated. So when you really embrace something like what we're like a travel staffing option, in a lot of ways, what it tells your employees, your current employees, is that the company really understands the problem. As we often say, they're actually putting their money where their mouth is. They're not just saying our people are the most important. They're actually doing something to address the issue. They're actually bringing in talent. They're really thinking outside of their box and bringing us the skilled talent so that I don't have to work 70 hours this week, because now we're properly staffed, and we're not just staffed with bodies, we're staffed with talent. And
Right.
that's a big statement, quiet statement, but very impactful statement to the culture of your business when people see what you're doing to solve the problem.
Yeah, very much so. And this next point, I think, kind of feeds on that. It's really very much related, but this idea that you're investing. A lot of people, I think there needs to be a change in mindset that this is not a cost. And I know this because, it sounds like a salesy thing, but truly, if you think about it, this is not a cost. This is an investment. We just had one of our skill workers that was talking about their experience with working with us. And, he expressed frustration that skilled maintenance folks, skilled technicians are looked at as a cost versus a profit center in his words. And it is that if you look at it, you're investing in your company. It's not a cost if you get the right human talent that you're bringing into your company. As Brett said, it sends all kind of messages, overt and covert messages to your people, but also to your customers out there, that we're going to do what it takes to bring in the quality talent to be able to provide you, your customers, what they need as well. So bringing in the right talent, it's a bottom line issue. It drives the bottom line to be more efficient, more effective. You keep your lines running, you get your projects done on time. So the idea that I'm going to go with a low-cost solution, that I can get somebody locally at a lower cost, I can tell you, I've done that. I've hired people and I've brought in lower cost talent because it looks good on paper, but the end result is project deadlines slip to the right. My ultimate overall cost of the project go down. My ROI goes down when I've done that in the past. So I've learned myself, personal experience, that you get what you pay for, particularly with the skilled talent that you're bringing on board. So,
another one, I guess, that we would respectfully challenge. I'll give a couple of examples. I think it helps kind of identify the thought. So, we went from many years ago horse and buggy to automobile. We went for travel from train to airplane. More recently, things like taxi to Uber or Lyft, Blockbuster to Netflix. My point is, or our point is, that things change. And we have to change with it to be successful. The traditional hiring model of running ads and looking for local talent is just changing. It's as we say, the proof's in the pudding. The facts are there. I mean, there's the local talent pool. We have a new client who's paying a very top wage for very skilled technicians, and the pool's empty. I mean, they're paying as good a wage as any client that we have, and can't fill all their needs. And so they've obviously recognized that and said, well, we can just continue to, you can just continue to run harder and do the same thing and this and that and hire more. It's not that your in-house talent team is not doing their job. It's that they've got one arm tied behind their back. They can't offer a solution to expand the search and offer something that's appealing to the talent you need. That's what we do. That's what a travel staffing, and ours specifically, in all we do is skilled trades. We're not doing nurses. We're not doing IT. We focus in this area because one, we recognize how big the problem is. Two, we understand it, and we think it's where, to be honest, we think it's where God called us to spend our time, and so that's what we do.
Yeah, I mean it's example after example that have that. We've got a client, a customer locally, but they've got locations around the country, and they've never, this is something brand new to them in their world. They've always gotten local talent, and every one of their terminal facilities are 2 to 3 technicians short. And they were at the point where they were basically bringing anybody in, and essentially if they could identify one end of a wrench from the other, they were bringing them in, and it was really hurting them. So the idea that there is another option for you out there. And again, I think Brett made the point. We're not the solution for all of the problems. We're part of the solution to a problem, a challenge that's going to be here for a while. And we think we're a great option for many of you out there. So when you ask yourself, why in the world would I reach out to a company like Skillwork? It's very important that you understand we're not a temp agency. We're not a headhunter. All our employees are our long-term employees. We take really good care of them. They show up at your facility with a focus to work, not to look for their next job. They're there to provide for your needs. We do a very good job of taking care of our guys, so they are absolutely focused on showing up at your facility and doing a great job. So if it's something that you haven't considered before, we invite you to reach out and talk to Brett and his team. Brett heads up all of our external client managers, and they're very good at what they do. And we'd love for you to reach out, and no obligation, just to see if it's something that you might explore with us. So any final thoughts on that, Brett?
No, I mean, it's like you said. I mean, this is it's a real problem. It's not, as we say, wishing it away or wishing it was different is not a solution. And so, our client base of customers continues to grow very rapidly. And so we know that we can help. We know we can help you, and love the opportunity.
Yep. Thank you for the time that you gave us today to chime in here. Again, reach out to us at skillwork.com. Appreciate the fact that you took time out of your day to listen to the podcast. So until next time, thanks again, and God bless.